So things tend to come in full circle sometimes. I made a video last year about Deon Sanders leaving Jackson State, and it was a lot more of a impassioned video. I was yelling because I was mad, and the reason I was really mad was because, and it wasn't even about Deon specifically, but um, it's about what it represents, and it's basically a story that's been playing out over and over and over again. And it's an economic story, and to hear people, especially black people, talking about um, the poverty and the condition that Jackson State University was in and the city was in, and because of the poverty, that Dion was one justified in wanting to leave, um, and two, it's motivation for anybody to get out of the circumstance, right? And that last part is kind of the key: is get out of that circumstance. Is there's never a discussion, an honest discussion of why is that the circumstance? Why is that city so poor? Why do they need aid? Why do they need help? Why can't they help themselves? And that's a rhetorical question that every white person asks, and everybody asks. Why can't they help themselves? But it's never really asked explicitly, and it's never actually answered. We all just know the answer. It's just assume you know the answer. And if you press someone what the answer is, they won't give it to you. Because it's going to be some combination of these people are poor because they're lazy, they're uneducated, um, they're untrustworthy, their culture is wrong. The point is, they are the way they are because it's them. They're the issue. And again, people might not think this explicitly, but it's the undercurrent that's just there constantly. And I'm upset because Dion was showing people the solution to the problem. And the solution to the problem is money, not in the form of a handout of a charity, but in terms of investment. And what Dion did was he brought the talent to Jackson State. And football talent is worth a lot of money in this country. A lot of money. Especially college football talent. And again, this is an economics discussion right now. How can people see the South, which is known for its overt racism? It's known for slavery. It's known for the Confederacy. And yet they're the biggest college football towns college football fans in the country. And so how do you reconcile this, that these people who are known for being racist, not liking black people, but yet they're fighting over the rights to get these black people, right? Because it's not about their skin color. It's about what they can do for them. And if I can get this 5-star player on my team, I'll win more games. If I win more games, I'll make more money, I'll get a better job. The college knows. If we win more games, we will get more students enrolling, which brings in more money. We will get more sponsors, which will bring more money. Because people want to market towards the sports fans. So it's a very simple game. You bring in the attraction, the star talent, they put on a show, you win games, it invites more people, you bring more people, you bring more advertisers, you bring more money. Think about all the restaurants in that town. Think of anyone who's ever been to a college game day. Anytime you've been to a Power Six conference, I'm getting old now. Just a BCS conference football game on game day, and the total town is transformed, especially college towns. Every restaurant's packed. Every store is packed. The people who are selling clothes and selling everything, like their business is booming. Right? And so you can see that if you have a winning football team, the entire town eats off of that. You know, it's not college sports, but there's that old thing about when LeBron left Cleveland, and he was worth about $1 billion to that Cleveland economy. Like, hear what I'm saying to you right now. One man being in your town brings over $1 billion to your economy. People are eating off that. So we're getting back to Deon, and the problem with cities like Jackson and schools like Jackson State is they struggle with money. There's a lack of money. Okay. Deon temporarily solved that problem because by him coming to Jackson State and using his name and his ability to recruit, he got star players to come to Jackson State with him. And you saw the whole thing start to glow up a little bit in terms of now they're nationally televised games. They're talking about them on the national shows. They have so the main problem with Deon is that he was a major part of the story. Without him, you don't have those star players coming. And if those star players aren't coming, the local economy can't benefit from their presence. And by Deon leaving, he didn't just take him and his players with him. He took away the revenue they were going to generate. Money that would have gone towards the city and bringing the people of that city up. You bring more money into the city, you bring more jobs into the city. You drain money from the city, you end up draining jobs from the city. None of this stuff is complicated. None of this stuff is a secret. This is known. Cities like Jackson are poor by design. Ghettos are not just an accident or a byproduct. Ghettos are created. Poor cities are created. Poor countries are created. And you do it all by the same system. By economically starving that country. Economically starving that city. Economically starving the person. You know, there's a reason why all these small towns, kids graduate from high school and they leave, and they go to the big cities. And why are they doing that? Because they're leaving their small towns with no opportunity. They have to go find it elsewhere. And a person can move. A town can't move. A country can't move. And so if the environment around that city is hostile, that city has no chance. And you look at what they're doing with Jackson, you look at the stuff they're doing politically, um, it's terrible. And it's not fair to put all on Deon, but Deon's the story. He's the center story right now, so we're gonna stay on him. But you change Jackson by people like Deon staying in Jackson and bringing more people with you. It can't be one person. But the issue is that as soon as someone like Deon gets any type of like foothold to go up and join white people, they're going to do it. You're incentivized to do it. And so now you see him at Colorado right now. I know his first week went well. I don't know how it went since then, but I'm torn. I'm to me, he's not a positive story, but it's hard for me to root against a black man. It's hard for me to do that, unless it's outright cooning, which he's done at times. So again, for him, it's complicated, man. But I'm not going to say I can't wish bad on him. But it does bother me seeing the joy that he's bringing to the people of Colorado, the people of Boulder. That does bother me. Because in order for them to give them that joy, he had to take it from someone else. And y'all know who he took it from. And that's what we're talking about joy right now. We're also talking about the money. He made Colorado a player again. A national player. They're getting recruits now. And why? It's not charity, it's not aid. Because they get something out of it. And that's the other part that bothers me with the whole Jackson stuff. Was this framing that these people need aid. That black people need aid. They need charity. And we don't need that. We never needed that. But we need our own things. We need to generate our own money. We don't want charity. But that's what we get. That's how people talk about things. And again, with this whole Deon thing, the way that people frame the exploitation of black people and they turn it around. Meaning they talk about why these people need so much aid, right? And then you're ignoring the fact that you took away their ability to make their own living. You intentionally made them dependent upon your quote unquote aid or charity. And then you resent them for being stuck on the system you created for them. Makes no sense. But I'll close with this. There's this with this ongoing conflict in Niger. I see so many parallels to where people are asking, why is this country so poor? Why did this dictator take over? Why did this coup happen? Now they won't get any aid or whatever. And people keep talking about how these countries need aid. They need aid. They need aid. And what they need is for people to get their hands out of their pockets. If I take $5 out of your pocket, then I give you $1. I didn't give you $1 of charity. I didn't give you $1 of aid. I stole $4 from you. But that's what we do. We have these countries Niger has it supplies a third of France's uranium that they use for power, and yet 90% of the people of Niger have no electricity. So how does that work? How does your country's resource, your top export, go to power a third of France's power, but 90% of your people don't have power? What does that tell you? And the money that they do get is in aid. It's insane. But it's a classic case of us hating on the player and not hating the game. I don't care if it's a country of Niger. I don't care if it's the city of Jackson. I don't care if it's Jesse Jackson. It's all the same story over and over and over again. These places and people are intentionally kept poor. It's what the system is designed to do. And we've known this for centuries. And we still have people thinking that they're one of the good ones and that they can fix the system by using this system. And it's asinine. It's backwards.